Hi, my name is Colbert and let's start with Age of Wonders Planetfall. Emerge from the cosmic dark age of a fallen galactic empire to build a new future for your people. You will build your kingdom with one of 6 unique factions, ranging from the militant vanguard to the dinosaur-riding Amazon, cyborg zombies and unicorn raccoon kittens of despair. Well, maybe not the latter, but I assure you that the diversity of units is really nice. Game has a great single-player campaign and random skirmish maps. It's a fun game for you if you are a fan of games like Disciples or Heroes of Might and Magic. Ghostrunner. This is a hardcore slasher packed with lightning-fast action set in a grim cyberpunk megastructure. You'll climb a huge tower, which was obviously built to compensate for something, and that tower is somehow humanity's last shelter after a world-ending cataclysm. So here you have to make your way up from the bottom to the very top to confront the evil boss. The streets of this tower are full of violence. Evil dude rules with an iron fist and little regard for human life. So some form of Putin and you have to end him. That sounds nice, although be warned, if you never like the platforming part of Doom Eternal, Ghostrunner is definitely not for you, because platforming besides the killing part is all you will do here. Iron Harvest. The game is set in an alternative timeline of the First World War. The main thing that distinguishes our world from Iron Harvest is the giant steam-powered robots, main weapons of the war. Here you'll find a huge variety of them, and I'll be honest, they look really very detailed. All the design features are absolutely 10 out of 10, although the gameplay itself is... well, it's a decent game, but if you are a fan of StarCraft or Command & Conquer, Iron Harvest is not for you. Here you will not find fast-paced gameplay, everything is super slow, and the game has huge delays between issued commands and the actions your units take. That was made on purpose. You know, developers were saying that a robot is huge, it can just turn around instantly and break the laws of physics. Well, that is right, but we all know that the main reason that was done because they wanted everyone to play their game. And yeah, your grandma could play this game is that slow. I'm not kidding. Although that doesn't mean that Iron Harvest is easy. It's slow, but it's hard. It will challenge you and your grandma. You can play online in co-op mode together, by the way. Also, if you don't believe me about the slow pace, listen to that. Iron Harvest has full controller support, so you can play this RTS without keyboard and mouse. That says everything. No Man's Sky. We can all remember that this game was a major flop on release. Mostly negative reviews ruined the day for developers, but they pulled their shit together, put it in a bag so it's together, and instead of abandoning and crying in the corner, they fixed the game. Your voyage here is up to you. Will you be a fighter preying on the weak and taking their riches, or a merchant who will find rich resources on forgotten worlds and exploit them for the highest prices, or maybe an explorer? Go beyond the known frontier and discover places and things that no one has ever seen before. Like, you know, a Polish person who doesn't say kurwa at least twice a day. No Man's Sky procedurally generates the whole universe. It's still a bit smaller than your mama, but it will be enough for you to dive in for a few days at least, or maybe more. A lot of people who leave comments on Steam have from about 20 to 150 hours of playtime. The Ascent. Here you will kill hundreds of puny enemies in a corporate-run metropolis stretching high into the sky and filled with creatures from all over the galaxy. You can do that with a friend online, or together on a split-screen co-op, or totally alone. It doesn't matter, single player here is great as well. So yeah, beside it being a mishmash of Cyberpunk 2077 and Diablo, the game has Star Wars and Fifth Element vibes as well, and that is awesome. The game is really fun to play, although don't get too excited yet. Some people are complaining about disappearing save games and other more or less major bugs. So the Ascent is not flawless by any means, but the price of this really new game is quite affordable, so think about it. Sea Salt. It is a dark fantasy reverse horror action strategy game with a comfy horror vibe where you play as a nightmarish force of Dagon, the Eldritch God, by controlling and growing a horde of evil minions. To say short, you are evil and you slay good guys. That is very nice, I like that. The game looks easy at first, you just run after some weaponless guys and tear them to pieces, but later it gets harder and harder.
That's what she said.
And then everything in your control dies horribly. Then you realize that that this is no joke, that you must carefully plan your attacks, and wiping those puny humans from the face of the earth is not an easy task. The enemies you encounter will get stronger as the game progresses, so you have to play smarter, use obstacles, try to lure them one by one, and then your horde will prevail. But probably not. Sea Salt is a really hard game. On a scale from your sister to Diamond, it's probably 7. Conarium. This is another chilling Lovecraftian game that follows the gripping story of 4 scientists and their endeavor to challenge what we normally consider to be an absolute limits of nature. And no, they are not teaching a cat to roll over, that is impossible. The task is way easier than that, to be honest. The game is inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's novella At the Mountains of Madness, but largely set on the original story. Here you'll find a plot infused with lots of secrets and Easter eggs, ominous but wonderful graphics created with Unreal Engine and multiple endings. Game has a chilling atmosphere, so avoid it if you are a
pussy.
Although do not expect a lot of action here, this is mostly a walking simulator with Myst-like puzzles. Detroit: Become Human. Here your decisions will dramatically alter how the game's intense branching narrative plays out. Here choices really matter, not like in real life. Basically the whole game is built around your choices. You can't do anything here except to choose what to do in certain situations. Every decision you make, no matter how small, affects the outcome of the story. And in this game, no playthrough will be exactly the same. You can replay again and again and discover a totally different conclusion, sometimes absolutely unexpected one. But, well, let's be honest, you probably won't do that many times, but it's nice to know that the ending you got is really unique. Also, you can try the free demo version on Steam. Command & Conquer: Red Alert Free. If somehow you were living under a rock in the bottom of the ocean far away on a distant planet in a parallel universe and avoided Red Alert 3, this is your chance to fill the gap and play one of the best RTS games ever created. Or maybe you have nostalgia and a way more powerful machine than in the year of 2008 when you were playing the game for the first time, so now you can enjoy the game in full glory. Also, you can find tons of mods now to improve the gameplay in one way or another. The game has an awesome campaign, still good looking graphics, and tons of fun. Pillars of Eternity Definitive Edition. You can't find this one in a search bar, you have to click on a simple Pillars of Eternity release and then you will find the bundle there. This is a great deal. For this price you will get the main game and all the DLCs, so you will have a complete game in one package. Pillars of Eternity is a great game, and if you like classic Baldur's Gate or Icewind Dale games, you probably already tried or at least heard about the game already. Pillars came to life after an unbelievably successful Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign, which raised more than $4 million. That is 4 times more than you have face mites now crawling on your face. So become a hero in Pillars of Eternity and save people from a scary phenomenon known as Hollowborn. People are being born without a soul. Everyone is affected except people with particular hair color. You know, you can't lose what you don't have. Legend of Grimrock Bundle. This bundle contains both Grimrock games and it's perfect for those who like dungeon crawling games, because Legend of Grimrock is one of the best there is. Games have a modern execution but an old school heart. Here a group of 4 prisoners have been shipwrecked on a secluded island. I don't know their crimes, probably all pedophiles to spice up the lore a bit. So you are in charge of them and you have to travel to ancient crumbled ruins, mysterious shrines and vast underground network of dungeons and mines. If the prisoners wish to make it out alive, they have to overcome the challenges devised by the ominous mastermind of the island. And now don't forget that not only Steam but also GOG has a weekly sale of great games, so check my link in the description below and maybe you'll find something amazing for yourself. Thank you for watching, have a nice day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.